Hello everyone, my name is Aman. I hope you all are doing well. So today I will be taking your workshop on Intro to Python Skills for AI. So this is the link that you can find in the description down below. It has all the resources for the workshop. So you will learn about Python and its basic syntax and what you can do with it. We will be creating and running some Python programs. So this workshop is the first in a series of three workshops that will teach some Python basics that you can use for many purposes. One of them is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence might sound something like from the future, but it's actually all around you. Siri and Alexa are an example of artificial intelligence that you might have encounter with. They use natural language processing to listen to spoken words and understand them and then respond to them appropriately. Netflix is yet another example that use AI in its recommender systems to recommend videos to its customers. Similarly, Eno helps you determine if someone has stolen your card number and to manage your finances using machine learning and natural language processing. So today we are going to learn a little bit about fundamentals of Pythons by writing various Python scripts and running them in the console. So here is a brief overview of what we will be doing. So you need to sign up for Glitch because it has all the resources, and we will be using Glitch to code our code and edit it. As we are not downloading Python, so we will be totally depending on Glitch. So what is Python? Python is an interpreted language. It's a high-level coding language. Python was invented by Guido van Rossum in 1991. Python can be used to make web pages, web apps, and web scripts. One of the most common use of Python is in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and also data science. So you will be learning some Python basics today. These will be building blocks to go on and learn more about machine learning AI in your academic career. So you will learn the following basic Python tools today: variables, loops, functions. So these tools are not very much specific to Python language, but they are very general concepts in programming itself. So you will find these concepts in other programming languages also. Variables in programming are a lot like variables in maths. They store information for us. Loops are structures that are used to do repetitive tasks. Functions are functions are block of codes that do a specific job and also make our code less redundant. So you will be learning your running your program into the Glitch console. So you need to sign up for Glitch. You can follow this link to sign up for Glitch. It's very simple. You just need to provide in your email, or you can sign up with Facebook or GitHub. Once you are signed in, you are ready for the workshop. You need to follow this link. Uh, we will put the link in the description. Once you have access that link, you will see a window like this. From there, you need to click on Remix Your Own. This might take some time to load. Once, uh, once your once the URL is loaded, you can dive in the code, and you see on the left there are the files that we will be using for the workshop. From there, you will be clicking on this variables.py file, and we'll learn some concepts about variables. So let's start by creating a variable named my age, which will have some value like 15, or you can put anything. Then we'll create a variable called my name, and in the quotation we can put some name. So as you can see that we need not to put a data type in Python, which makes it a lot easier to learn for new people. So now here we will be using the print function to print out my age variable on the console, and in the next print statement we are concatenating a string with our my name variable. Lastly, we will be using a formatting format function, which is used to format strings. So here we will leave these curly braces for our variables, and after the string is over, we can use that format function. We'll make it a little big for you, and then we'll type in our name, my name variable, and then my age. This completes our print function, and then we'll be running this script into the from the glitch terminal. So you can click on tools and then go on to terminal, which will open this black window, which is actually similar to a command prompt in Windows and a terminal in a Mac. So basically, we will be typing in some Unix command to search for our file. Like ls will list all the files that are present in the current working directory. From here, you can see that our file variables.py is present. Now to run this file, we'll need to type in Python and the name of the file. So you can use this autocomplete by typing a few characters of the file, and then you can press tab to autocomplete the file name. Then you'll press enter, and this will print out uh, this will run our script, and you'll see the output. So let's talk about functions. So a function is a block of code that can be used over and over again. You have already used two functions, the print and the format function. So function have a few features: its name and parameters, which are optional. We can give the function a variable to use when we use the print function. Everything inside the bracket is used by the function. So let's start by writing our own function. We will name it hello, say hello, which will accept a variable called name. So the def keyword is used in Python to declare to type in the definition of function. So it's basically the Python way of typing the syntax. It's the Python way of writing a function. And after the name, after the parenthesis, you will need to put in a colon, and then you need to press enter. So you will see that there is an automatic indentation like this. There is some gap here, which is used to describe the body of the function. As you might know, in C or C++, we use curly braces to define the body of the function. So here Python uses indentation to describe the body of the function. So we'll print hey there, and we'll put the braces for the variable name. After that, we need to pass in we need to create the variable name. We'll pass in Jamie to it. Finally, we will call the function, and in this one we will choose our variable name and make sure that there is no indentation, because this statement is not part of the function body. say hello and then Sam. All right. Now if we run it, Python functions dot py, you see the output. Hey there, Jamie. Hey there, Sam. So congratulations, you have made your first function in Python. So here is a challenge. You can pass multiple variables into a function. To do this, you need to separate parameters with a comma when you create the functions. So here is the uh, problem that you can do. So we will try to solve this. Multiply. So it says write a function that takes two parameters, multiplies them together, and print the result. So we'll make a function name multiply numbers, and we'll pass in some. We pass two numbers that we will be multiplying, and then what we need to do is to print the result. We need to print the result. So we'll use the print function and multiply those numbers inside it. Now we need to call multiply numbers, and we'll put 5 and 10 as the parameters. For now we can just delete this part of the code. And now if we run the function python function.py, make sure you save it. Here you get 50 as the result. So 5 and 10, 5 times 10 is 50. Returning values from function. So far our function uses the parameters within the function. What if we wanted to use the result somewhere else? We can do this by returning values from functions. Let's see what that looks like. So open up this file called returns.py, and let's type in the code. For typing, we will try to understand what this code is doing. So we have created a function called create full name, which take in two parameters called first name and last name. Then the full name equals to first name dot upper plus double quotes plus last there is a space, and then last name dot upper. So this upper function will make the words in uppercase, will convert the words in uppercase. Let's start by typing in the function. Let's create full name, first name, last name, full name, first name dot upper, then last name dot upper, and then we will return the name, return the result actually. Create full name Neil Armstrong. So now if we try to run this program, python return dot py, it doesn't show any output because we have nowhere printed that printed the full name in the. So now we will modify our code our code and will print the result of the create full name function. So we'll make a variable called result, and we'll use it to store the value of create full name function. Then we'll use the print function to print the result. And now if you run the script again, return tab for autocomplete doesn't work. Again, should work. Now press enter. You will get the output as Neil Armstrong, all in uppercase. Cool, now you know a little bit about functions. Let's talk about loops. Click on the loops.py file. Here you will see a lot of print statements. Uh, so the guy is, no, we will run the script python loops.py, and you see the output day 1, day 2 up to day 10. So in the previous file, we had to write 10 separate lines of code to get the program to print day 1, day 2, etc. However, the only thing different on each line was the number. Imagine if we had to print 100 days. This would be awful. Is there a better way? Yes. And it is called loops. Sometimes in programming, you want to do the same task over and over again. A loop is an easy way to do it. So we will be using loop to print out this whole mess right here. So we'll start by creating a loop for num in range 10. Then a colon, enter, print in quotes day, then braces, then dot format num. So it's very easy to understand the format of loop in Python. So basically, it starts with the for. Then num is a variable. You can put any name that you might like. After the variable, we have this in keyword, which followed by a range 10. So basically, range 10 creates a array, a list of numbers from 0 to 9. All right, and it will start with the number 0. So then in the first iteration of the loop, num will be equal to 0, and it will print day 0. And after that print statement is complete, it will go back to range, and it will add 1 to itself. The number will now become 1, and it will now the value of num is 1, and it will print 1 now. So it will go up till 9, as you will see in the output. Python loops.py. There you see day 0 and day 9. Since if you know in programming, indexing start from 0, hence we get this output. So now if we want to change, if we now want to print up till day 10, what we can do is put in here 11, and now if we run it, it will go up to day 10. So we are making a great progress. Let's make on to lists. So variable store a single value. What if we wanted to have a list of related variables, like a list of names or phone numbers? This is where list comes in handy. In other programming languages, you might find them called arrays. There are a few ways we can create lists in Python. Open up lists.py file and type in the code. Try adding some code to print names and planets. What does the output look like? So let's start by typing in names equals 1. Here we have created an empty list, and then the list that have the name of the planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Once we have created a list, we can continue adding values to it by using the append function like this. But before that, let's see how we can print these, uh, what the output looks like after printing these two lists. Print names and print planets. Planets. Python lists dot py. So the first list is of the names which is empty. So here you see this empty list. The second one which has the name of the planets is like this. If you want to print it in a better way, we could use a for loop for planet in planets print planet. You see, now you can see the output. So retrieving values from lists. If we print our lists, we get all of the content. But what if we want to access a particular element in the list? Thankfully for us, Python list maintains an index of the content. This means we can access a single value by its index number. So what will be the console output of planets? 1. Guess before the code is run. So I think you probably have guessed what will be the output. It is Venus and not Mercury. It's because in programming, indexing starts from 0. So Mercury will have the index 0, Venus will have 1, Earth will have 2, and so on and so forth. Alright, let's start at index 0. To a computer, 0 is perfectly usable number. Try printing out planets index 0. So now we will get Mercury. Alright, looping through lists. So we have covered loops and lists. So how about looping over lists? Add a loop, sorry. Add this loop to list.py. So a loop starts with a for, then a name of a variable, then in, then a then a list, print planet. So this time we are looping over our list named planets, which has the name of the planets, which are basically strings. So now let's see the output. As you see, it prints out all the names of the planets that we have put in the list. We are flying through this. Let's talk about importing. As you have seen so far, Python has a lot of inbuilt functions like print, upper, range. Sometimes we want to extend the functionality of Python by using functions that someone else has written for a specific purpose. These are called modules. We can even import other Python files we have written ourselves, so we can use their functions. Take a look at the returns.py file. By creating a Python file with some functions in it, we have created a module called returns. What if we wanted to use this create full name function in another Python file? So let's do that. So we'll open up this file. I will hit it and write it again. Import returns print. So import returns basically imported this Python file. Now print returns dot. Now here from by using this dot syntax, we can access the function called create full name, and we'll pass in Chris, comma H at field. All right. So we use the import keyword to import modules we want to use. Here we have imported our other Python script returns.py. We can use the function we wrote inside returns.py. All we have to do is to tell Python where the function is coming from by typing returns dot create full name instead of just the function name. So, but before proceeding further, we would like to print. We would want to see the output of the file. All right. So we got this output Chris Hatfield. So now the next thing is we will be importing at the random module. It helps us to generate random numbers. So we'll use a function called randint, which will generate a random number. We can give it two parameters, a start point and an end point. It will generate a random whole number between these two values. So let's first import random and print random dot rand int. Starting point will be 0 and ending point will be 100, and then we can run it. This time we got 12, we got 60 and 36. So it is generating a random number, a random whole number between 0 and 100. We have learned a lot today. What? How about we put this all together? So far we have learned about variable loops, lists, functions, importing, and more. Let's write a script that combines these ideas. Open up challenge.py and give it a try. Challenge time. Find yourself a partner, someone in the room or someone in the live chat that you don't know, and try to solve this challenge. So this concludes our today's workshop. I hope you learned something new. Please leave your feedback and have a good day.